Initializing monetization. Monetization process successful.
Hello and welcome back to another episode of Live ZMU TV, Raw and Uncut. I am your host, Armand Nicholas. Today we're going to be talking about one of the most important things if you are a YouTuber or uploading videos on YouTube or pretty much any platforms that you upload video on. The topic of how important is the title for my video. Now obviously it may not come as common sense to a lot of people, but this is one of the most important, I guess, aspect of any YouTuber uploading a new video online due to the massive volume of uploads that YouTube gets on a daily basis. All right, and of course the plethora of different topics and categories that YouTube has, and of course coupled with that, all of those individuals searching on a regular, constant basis. So let's get right down to it. But before we get started, I just want to go ahead and remind everyone, if you are not subscribed to this channel yet, please hit that red button, subscribe to the channel, but more importantly, please make sure that you hit the bell button. That will allow you to be notified of any new videos that are being uploaded from this channel or from the team. Now at the end of the episode, if you like what you hear, hit that like button, and of course always make a point to comment on the video. Let me know what you thought about the video, what you think could be improved, and of course if you have any personal experience that you'd like to add for others to potentially learn from. So we'll have some category topics on this. I just want to make sure that we hit on everything in regards to how important a title is for your video. Now, to get started, one of the most important things that you need to understand is that using the proper title on your video gives it a better chance to be ranked higher on the search engine. It's part of your SEO, as we have previously discussed. Okay, now it allows your channel to grow faster. It allows to attract new viewers to your channel and to your videos. So using the right appropriate title and keeping those rules of engagement, you know, in the back of your mind, it actually has a massive positive effect on overall your video plus your channel platform altogether. YouTube titles, you know, we're limited to a certain amount of characters, but we always encourage everyone to use as much as you need. But there are key guidelines to how to format your title. Okay, titles are very important for YouTube SEO. Okay, search engine optimization, for those who does not understand or not aware of what SEO is. Now, the title of your video is equivalent. Okay, it's equivalent to the title of like a news article or a blog, or maybe a title of a movie that you're going to see. If the title is not enticing enough, if the title is not attractive enough, you know, the chances are you yourself are probably not gonna want to see that movie or not want to read that news article, right? Or that blog. It may not appeal to your expectations, right? So that's how important a title is, right? The title is the first thing that most people see, but not just people as in human beings, also web crawlers. Okay, web crawlers trying to find certain things online. I mean, it doesn't hurt that your video would pop up during their search online, right? So overall, the topic of having the right title in your video is very, very important. Once you've picked the right keywords, so one of the first steps that you should be doing when you're gonna make a video is, well, obviously you understand what what video you're going to make, right? The topic of your video, the concept of your video. What you should be doing to ensure that you target all aspect of SEO, not just the title, is you know what the video that you're going to make is, right? You should be writing down, jotting down words that you want to make sure is in your title, right? And that is mentioned in your video. You should be writing down what your video is about, like an outline, right? And from those outline, you'll come up with certain words or certain phrases that explains a brief synopsis or brief overview of what your video is going to be about. So jot them down. Make sure that these are the same words that you are using inside your video, but also inside your description and on your thumbnails, right? To ensure that everything is formatted properly, that everything is basically linked to one another. One of the worst things that you could do, and I'm sure that a lot of you have experienced this, is clickbait, right? Putting something attractive on the title, putting something attractive on the thumbnail, and all of a sudden when you click on that video, it's not what you expected, right? And in the first 30 seconds to a minute of someone watching your video, someone will click off of it, close it, and look for other videos that they're attracted to, right? That's one of the worst things. That's probably the first and last time that viewer is gonna come to your site. And if they did hit the subscribe button, you can most certainly be assured that they're gonna unsubscribe just because they felt that they were tricked. They felt that they were, baited to your channel or to your video, and it was delivered something unexpected, right? So again, make sure that it all links together. Okay, titles are the first thing that both human beings and crawlers both see when they search. So you want to make sure that you utilize all the tools to your discretion to make sure that your video pops up in the right category and in the right searches. Okay, now with that said, your videos, besides creating great edited videos or great topic videos, you'll need to do some pretty serious keyword searches. You need to make sure that you're covering all of your bases per se. What that simply means is it's very unlikely that you are the very first person or very first YouTuber that's doing a video on that topic. With the help of the internet and the global reach that we all have nowadays, and by the touch of a mouse or a keyboard, there's a good chance that you are not the first one that ever came up with that topic. I would highly suggest that you search online some of the successful videos that you've seen done on that topic. Search online some of the research that others have done and put it alongside with yours and compare notes to ensure that you have valuable information to deliver to your viewers. Okay, you got to remember that everything nowadays is being scored online. The higher your score is, the more likely that your video will show up on those search results. Okay, so there are a couple of things to keep in mind. Okay, there are a couple of things that I'm hoping that you would take into account in regards to your title. There are 7 things. So one of those most important concept, number 1, be accurate and concise on your title. Okay, again, make sure that it explains briefly what your video is about in short phrases, right? And those phrases are short, but they're called long-tailed keywords, right? Long-tailed tags, right? And they should be on your title, as well as on your description, and as well as your tags, so that when someone searches any of those keywords or tags, your video would pop up. You're gonna wanna make sure that you avoid using any form of clickbait situation. You don't wanna get that kind of, recognition. That is the wrong publicity, all right? Although all publicity is good publicity, that is not one of those that you want to rank high on, is being a channel that does clickbait to their viewers. Okay, number 2, avoid or refrain from asking questions on your title. Okay, let your audience pretty much know what your video content is. Don't ask questions on your video, because obviously if you're asking a question on your video, there's a good chance that that viewer is probably thinking, is this person doing a video on their interest of learning a little bit more about this topic? Because they're asking that question and hoping to get responses, right? I mean, it's not, I've seen videos out there that there is a question on their title and they do really, really well. But you're talking about a needle in a haystack, right? You're talking about a needle in a haystack. It's harder. It's an uphill battle to climb that. Now, where are all these information coming from? These are data that YouTube or Google creates. They have an enormous amount of data on their system. So they know what's been successful and they know what works. Our job is to utilize that data, translate it, and allow it to work for ourselves. Allow it to guide us, right? It's our North Star. Follow it, right? So again, there are a lot of videos out there that have questions on their titles and they do really, really well. But you also have to look at that channel. That channel probably has thousands and thousands, hundreds of thousands, right, of subscribers. So no matter what they upload, their subscribers are just watching their videos. They already built that trust with all of their subscribers that they're not going to be putting out, you know, useless videos that don't benefit others, right? They already know that any video that these channels put out is going to be of value to them, so they can do whatever they want with their title. But as a small YouTuber like you and I, that's not the case. We have to stay on track. We have to stay on in making sure that we follow certain rules and guidelines. But eventually you'll all have all of those massive subscribers and you can put out any video and name it whatever you want and people will watch it just because you've built that trust with your subscribers already. Okay, now one of the biggest ones, right? Use title capitalization. What does that mean? Make all of your words on your title capitalized? No. Use proper capitalizations in the beginning of the phrase, right? In the beginning of the word. If you capitalize something, if you capitalize an entire keyword or word, you're literally shouting that word out, which means it is that important. But if you capitalize everything on your title, it may have the negative connotation. It may have the negative effect, right? Again, once you have tens of thousands of subscribers, do whatever you want. But in the beginning, follow certain rules and guidelines, right? It's the same thing that you're not gonna capitalize an entire email that you're sending to someone because it feels like, or they may take it as you're yelling at them, right? Same thing with these titles. Avoid all capitalizations on your title. Use proper, wordings, right? Use proper wordings. Capitalize the first letter, right? If it's a sentence or if it's a phrase or if it's a tag, capitalize what needs to be capitalized. Just avoid the whole, 100 characters to be capitalized on your videos. Okay. Now, number 4, keep your title short. Now I understand YouTube allows us to put 100 characters, right? Up to 100 characters. But Google typically shortens it out, right? If you ever notice that when you search on Google a certain sentence or phrase that you basically are interested in, you'll notice that sometimes the search results will come up with any videos that you're interested in, but you'll notice that only 66 characters are showing. It's like summarizing the summary, right? It's like summarizing the title. Doesn't make any sense, right? YouTube basically and Google cuts the title off at 66 characters, but on your actual title, when you're uploading the video, it allows you to put up as many as 100 characters. Well, obviously, I want to make sure that you utilize all of those options and features up to 100 characters, but make sure that the first 66 characters are the most important keywords that you use, the most important words that you use on your title, to ensure that if your video does pop up on the search result, that at least it will be attractive enough and engaging enough so that even if they cut it off, and only use the first 66 characters, the message is already out there. The invitation is already out there to watch your video. Okay? Number 5, if appropriate, use numbers. Now, I don't know what the theory behind this is, but they target prime numbers or odd numbers, right? Something with 13s, 11s, 9s, 7s, you know, right? These are very powerful when you're talking about literally on a step-by-step system, right? Like previously, I just mentioned that there are 7 things to keep in mind when you're making a title for your video. The title of this video could have easily been the 7 concept of making your title relevant, right? So if appropriate, use numbers, right? 7 steps or the 3 steps of quick monetizations, right? Use those appropriately. Don't just randomly put numbers on your title just because most people typically search by words, not necessarily numbers. How would they know that there are 3 steps? How would they know that there are 7, aspect of writing a title, right? They don't know this stuff, right? So keep it simple, right? Number 6, use power words, right? Power words, tutorial, right? How to, right? Step by step, right? These are power words that attract a lot of viewers because there's a reason that they're watching your video. They're looking for help. They're looking for guidance. So the word tutorial on your title, very powerful. The word how-tos, step by step, right? Those are very powerful things to consider to put on your title. Number 7, include exact targeted words or keywords and place them on your title first, right? Use targeted keywords and place them on your title, but at the same time you want to make sure that these are the same words that you're putting on your description and in your tags as well, right? To ensure pretty much a well-rounded video that has a higher potential of showing up on the search results when someone is searching for those topics. Okay? So those are the 7 things that you might want to consider when you're doing your title for your video. But at the end of the day, once you upload that video, you'll be wondering what every single one of us wonders the moment that we hit upload or save and make that video public to the world. How do I stand out from the crowd? How am I gonna stand out from the crowd? Am I gonna be a needle in a haystack where it's gonna be hard for this video to generate attention, or am I gonna show up in the rankings? That all depends on how you do your SEO for your channel and for your video, right? But one of the things that you're gonna wanna make sure, or some of the things that you wanna make sure that you have covered, is obviously, like I mentioned earlier, is make sure that you target certain things. Here are a couple of things that you need to be aware of. It's proven psychologically, right? It's proven psychologically. Most people, they're not logical, right? They're not logical. They're emotional, especially when they're watching a video. Most people don't logically watch a video. Most people emotionally watch a video, right? So here are a couple of quick tips that you should be able to follow as a guiding light. Number 1, build a list type of titles. Like I told you, like top 11 ways, tutorials, right? 13 facts about something, right? The best 11 ways to cook something, build something, right? 3 easy steps of doing whatever it is that your video is, right? Always appeal to the emotional side of people. Not the logical side, the emotional side. Appeal to their emotional side, okay? By all means, please make sure that you avoid clickbait. Clickbait is not going to help you. It's going to hurt you, right? Once you've done all of this and once you've spent time on your optimization, well, we can be almost certain that you've done everything that you could possibly can on your title. The only other things that you're going to need to concentrate on are simply put your description, which you can watch the video on about our description, right, to help you do that. And of course, your attractive thumbnails. That's a whole different topic, but your thumbnails need to be attractive to the point where people will click on it just because they feel comfortable and engaged. Okay, so that's my final thought on that. So once again, hopefully this video was informative, was helpful to those who have been watching it. If you feel that there is something's missing, please make sure that you comment it. Let me know what you think. Let me know what was missed. Let me know what you would like to hear more about. And once again, if you haven't done so yet, please make sure that you hit the subscribe button, like button, or not like button. Let me know what you didn't like about it. But at the end of the day, once again, my name is Armand Nicholas. Hopefully this was helpful. And stay tuned for the next video upload from Live ZMU TV, Raw and Uncut. Thank you and have a good night.
Initializing monetization. Monetization process successful.